All right. Hey, it's great to see everyone. It's been a while since I've hosted a campfire. Today is the 60th one, so it's something to celebrate as well. No guest today, just you and me having a chat on generative AI and what we can expect from it. I want to say hi to MD Zior Rahman. Welcome. Hey, J JJ, how you doing? Faraz, great to see you here. Samantha, great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Rosalie, great to have you here. All right. So it's a very special conversation that I want to have with you. It feels like, hey, Amanda, how are you doing? Feels like every day of the week, there's something new going on in the generative AI, chat GPT space. And I've been really very deep into it. And I have um, few nuggets or few realizations to share with you. Let me let me actually show you what I have in mind for this conversation. Very much have three talking points, three things that I want to go deep with you in. The very first one is going to be the real power of AI. What I think really is the real power of AI, because I think there's there's a little bit we're in a situation of really we're not seeing the forest behind the tree in a sense. Then I want to talk to you about what I wrote here: 0x times 10 equals 0x, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what I mean by that. To give you a hint, I mean, pretty much ChatGPT is really going to help people who understand development, understand coding. It's not going to help at all people who don't. And so we'll get into that. And then number three is what I think has been missed or not discussed enough, based on really on my experience with generative AI. It's how it's really making a ton of existing startups and online companies, and especially software as a service companies, actually obsolete, and they're going to have a really hard time reinventing themselves. And what that means for anyone really thinking about the threats and opportunities of generative AI. I want to say hi to Hassan. I really would love to have a conversation with you all on this. So ask your questions here, either on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. We're streaming live right now. You can also join me if you want. If you follow that link right here, url.nucamp.co/dial-in, you're going to be my guest. And so I'll bring you onto the floor, meaning you'll have your camera on, you'll have your microphone on, and we'll have a conversation if you want. So let's go back to those talking points, and let's talk about the real power of AI. And what I mean by that is uh, how much people are talking about ChatGPT and how much we're not talking enough about really what developers enjoy doing every day of the week is using REST APIs, leveraging frameworks to integrate applications. And so let me actually share my screen right here. You all know that. You all know ChatGPT. Great tool. You can ask a ton of stuff. It's very impressive. You can see have the paid version right here. Uh, it's really relevant. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? Hello, hello. It's extremely relevant for end users like me, to help with productivity, write your essay if you have one. It's not gonna displace companies on its own. Again, it's very much helpful for end user productivity. This is not what's going to replace developers. This is not what's going to make developers obsolete, because again, it's too targeted to one user. And when you think about the experience of it, not every experience or not every best experience is a conversation. I don't know about you, but I've also had access recently with the new search experience that Google provides. And I'm not sure actually I prefer it than straight up search results because I get actually to see exactly the 10 options. I get to click, it's faster. The chat GPT experience sometimes, especially when you're starting to click to use the plugins, it actually reduces your productivity. Meaning it would be faster for me to go directly to Expedia, for example, than to use the travel plugin from ChatGPT. I mean, if anyone has used it, the very first thing you'll notice is when you have plugins, you can only have 3 plugins enabled at any point in time, which means you already need to know precisely the type of result you're expecting, because you're going to want to select the plugin that you think is going to be the best plugin to give you the answers. The reality of it is you have no clue which plugin is going to do the best job at answering your question. And when you look at the plugin here, not here, sorry. When you look, there you go, the plugin store, you really don't know which one to trust. You really don't know which one is going to be a good one, which one is not going to be a good one. Many are doing pretty much the same thing between ask your PDF to chat with PDF. And so it's going to be pretty difficult for you to ahead of time know precisely which plugin is going to be helpful to you and just select those 3. So I think we're starting to see kind of disappointments or disenchantments in how much ChatGPT is going to actually being able to produce from a productivity standpoint. We love to show our hands, like show your hand if you have access to the plugins and ChatGPT. Would love to see like if you have it, just say, hey, I have it. If you don't have it, say, I don't have it. Just write it down. Love to see who has access to it and who hasn't. And then I'd love to know how many of you have actually found those plugins very helpful, like say, hey, very helpful, or not helpful at all. Please type that if you can. That'd be great to see it. All right, so I have it too. Josh has it. Michelle has it. Don't have it. Every day to ask questions. Have you asked, GJ, have you asked the plugins or have you just asked ChatGPT? My question is very much, have you used the plugins to answer your question or just planned ChatGPT? Don't have it. So majority of you don't have it. Again, if you have access to the plugins, let me know how helpful they have been to you. I know they have not been that helpful to me. Okay, so that's ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT is fantastic. Helps being more productive on many tasks, but it's starting to show limitations. Not everything is a conversation. Not every best UI is a conversation. You have other UIs that are better than that. Just plain, yeah. Very helpful, they do require just plain ChatGPT. So most of you have not used plugins so far. Let me see if I can share with you as well. I have the new Google. So if I do, I'm going to talk about that next. So LangChain, best AI frameworks. So this is the new Google search. And I'm actually not sure I want to interact with a list like that. Here's my thoughts. It's very much a redesign of a search result. Like, I'm not sure I see intelligence in what has been shown here. It's very much, hey, whatever is actually in the search result, presenting it slightly differently. But here's the problem, right? I only have 3 results right now. That takes that much space. Pretty much the whole page is just 3 results. I actually want to see more than three. I want to make my choice. This is quite limiting to me. Uh, and so at this time, and I don't really want to engage in a conversation. Like, I know the model has been trained on SEO and search results. Chances are there's not going to be a strong opinion for anything here. It's just going to be a re-display of a search result in a different way. And again, I'm not sure I'm convinced that's the best option, right? It takes more time. And very often, if I do, of course, I've tried that, best coding boot camps. Well, there we go. This one is based on, well, we're not there. And this one is based on pretty much things that you have to pay for. So all those results here, ZDNet, computer science, those folks have paid to be on those lists. We did not. So this is not based on intelligence. This is not based on data. This is very much a re-display of information that's on the web without really a critical thinking on top of it. So again, I'm not sure that's really what I want. All those best bets are very much paid for. All right, so let me look at your chat before moving forward. 3 plugins restriction is quite limiting, and you're right. You need to know what you want to accomplish ahead of time. Yeah. So of course it's V1, and we can expect it to improve. But when you think, people are comparing that to, oh my God, this is the new App Store. This is the new revolution for App Store. I don't think it is. What you have with an iPhone or an Android phone and the App Store is fully fleshed UIs, right? Fully fleshed apps that are really optimizing their user experience for the workflow that they want. Here again, you're limited to a conversation. That's the only user experience you can provide. And again, that's not always the best UI. So, and honestly, I mean, if I pick again, I'm going to pick edX here to be nice, but I want to learn coding. What's going to happen is, well, we're going to search edX and it's going to bring me back the coding courses in edX. Is that great? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's really what I want. Oh, I didn't share my screen. Let's see that. There you go. So that's, I want to learn coding using edX as a plugin. Oh, it didn't even do it. Yes, web development. It didn't even fetch it from edX. There you go. Now it's doing it. And so now it's fetching it from edX. And great. Well, I mean, I had to engage in a conversation, wait for him to write it out, when I could have just done a search on Google and found the same answer. So again, I think there's going to be a ton of disenchantment on ChatGPT. You know, every new technology, even as impressive as ChatGPT is following a curve, you know, the hype curve. And I think we're starting to see that happening a little bit. Yeah, so Josh is I think we're thinking the same thing. Yeah, and Michelle, you're right. I think that's really my point. There's a ton of limitations and restrictions in just the ChatGPT experience, where you don't offer designers, developers an opportunity to really provide the best UI, the best experience. And so I think it's going to fall flat because of those limitations. The reason why we have many apps in the App Store is because every app is optimized for what it's trying to accomplish. Here, every app, every scenario, every workflow has to be a conversation. And that's not always the best. All right, so that's my point. That's the point I really wanted to make when talking about the real power of AI for me is not really necessarily ChatGPT. It's what's behind it. And so now I want to share with you what I think is the real power of it. And the real power of it has actually tons of good news, because the real power means that we need more developers. And the real power is not chatgpt.openai.com. It is platform. Um, it is back to the basics of leveraging these agents, um, these conversational bots, as part of your own workflow and as part of new apps, new websites, new experiences. I'd love to know who in the audience has played around already with generative AI APIs, be it ChatGPT or OpenAI, I should say, Claude, be it Google Bard. Who has actually had the chance to play with those models, with generative AI and everything? Let me know in the comments. So we have, and I think if you're a student, you probably have seen some of that. So, for example, we have implemented the ChatGPT bot in our Discord server. So we have something called the debuginator. I don't want to show it right now because there's some privacy issues. Obviously, we'll see names of students, but we have had the chance to bring those APIs, generative AI APIs, leveraging the code interpreter and adding that as a Discord bot so that students will be able to drop their files so we can actually see them, copying their files. I think there's actually one way for me to show it. Hold on a sec. I'm going to show you another one that's just me in it pretty much, and Krisa. There we go. So we have the debuginator here, which is very much, and I'm not going to show that. There we go. And so this is very much using the generative AI APIs from OpenAI v4, so ChatGPT 4, connecting that to a Discord bot and leveraging some of what Discord offers in terms of Markdown, for example. So the bot knows how to write Markdowns like that, so that the code actually looks like code. But then we can also add files. So Discord allows you to drop a file in a message. So that file is sent to ChatGPT and interpreted as code so that the ChatGPT bot can actually find the bug that you have in your code. Super helpful. This is a new scenario where, okay, there's conversation involved, but there's more than that. There's actually debugging of code. We have another, oh, I'm not showing it? Oh, you're right, I'm not showing it. Hold on. Why am I not showing it? There we go. It's here now. Entire screen, that's why. Boom. Can you see it? All right, sorry for that. So, as I was saying, we have the debuginator here. This is a test version where there's me, Krisa, who's our curriculum manager. So the chatbot knows how to write in Markdown so that a function really looks like a function. And as I was saying, you can also drop a whole file. This one is a Python file, and the bot will actually interpret that. So that's where really you have to be a developer to understand that, and you have to understand REST APIs. You have to understand backend because all of that is done on the backend. So this is where really we're seeing that what I meant by the real power of AI is in us developers really bringing those capabilities to new experiences. Those new experiences are going to be conversational, but many of them actually may not be conversational, and we'll talk about that as well. So I'd love to know what you thought. I mean, Josh has researched it, but haven't tried it. Matthew, you followed the tutorial. and you've done a few things, but this is where really we're going to find that there's a power of AI that goes way beyond using ChatGPT. I want to talk about this aspect even more. And for me, this is what I talk about, this point here. 0x times 10 equals 0x. So we've all heard about the 10x developer. Before AI, a 10x developer was pretty much the top of the top developer that was producing perfect code, was never making any bugs, had a wealth of knowledge, was able to mentor, junior developers. I mean, pretty much people were thinking I could have one 10x developers or 5 junior developers and I would have the same outcome. I mean, that's how good a 10x developer is. I think I'm close to being one of those. I hope so. And this is what I want to share with you in terms of story. I wanted to bring to our learning environment and to our students a AI tutor. So not what you've seen in Discord, but very much within the learning environment, in the context of the lesson, providing a chatbot that will actually help students figure out things. So if it's 3 a.m. in the morning, you're in the middle of a lesson at Nucamp, and you have a pressing question, you don't understand something, you can ask that chatbot, that AI tutor for help, and the AI tutor will really understand your context. It will know what lesson you're on, and it will also be careful to not just feed you the answer. It will actually really think about, helping you come up with the answer. So our learning environment is on Moodle, which is an open source platform. And for us to be able to do that, we had to create a plugin, a Moodle plugin, so that we can hook the chatbot and feed that chatbot with contextual information that later on OpenAI APIs will consume and understand. Moodle is developed in PHP. And so I've actually been in charge of building that plugin. And guess what? I have no idea how to develop in PHP. Like, I've never developed in PHP in my life. I don't really intend to learn that. Because honestly, it's kind of an old language. And I'm much more interested in learning Next.js, for example, or going deeper into React. But we had to build that plugin. And so this is what I asked. Yeah, you can see it. ChatGPT here really helped me. I asked him, hey, how would we be doing that? Like, how will we integrate Moodle and Crisp, which is our Crisp.chat is our plugin technology. How will we build a plugin in PHP that we can add to Moodle so that we can make that integration work? And he walked me through it. He knew exactly how to do it. It didn't work 100% at first. I mean, you can see the pages and pages of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Here's the deal. Here's what I want to share with you and kind of land with here. This could have never been possible if I had zero knowledge of development. I could not have achieved that outcome of building a brand new PHP plugin for Moodle if I had no understanding of what development was in the first place. Like, I don't know PHP, but I know enough to understand and interpret what's going on and ask ChatGPT the right questions, redirect it, and things like that. What happens here, if I think of myself as a 10x developer, this brought me to a 100x developer, because all of a sudden, even without knowing anything in PHP, I never built a plugin in my life for Moodle. I just did it. And actually it's live, it works, but look at how long it took me to achieve that. So this is what I mean by this. To grasp the real power of AI, you have to be a developer already. You have to understand development, no matter which language, but you have to be at least a 1x developer. You have to be able to leverage those APIs, and then you have to be able to leverage ChatGPT, the user front end, to become a 10x or to become a 100x. But here's my point. If you don't know coding at all, you're going to miss out on that, because if you don't know coding, 0x times 10, is what will ChatGPT will bring you, you'll still be a 0x. You have to know a little to really benefit from it and go from 1x to 10x, go from 10x to 100x. And I lived it myself. It was really abundantly clear to me that power of having foundational knowledge of coding, no matter which language, and then going way, way beyond that in doing things that would have taken me weeks, if not months, to realize. I love to hear from all of you as well. Have you felt that? Has any one of you felt how much knowing coding and leveraging ChatGPT kind of multiplied your outcome or your output? And anyone here feels like they are 10x or 100x developer at this time thanks to that? I'd love to hear that from you. By the way, if you want to have a conversation with me, don't hesitate. url.nucamp.co/dial-in. What will happen here is you'll be right here on that screen. We'll share the video and we'll have a chat. url.nucamp.co/dial-in. Don't hesitate to do that, okay? That's pretty good. Yes, Samantha. 10x learner, not developer yet. Well, exactly. So 1x, that turns into 10x. Absolutely. Amanda, I have not used it at all yet. I start the backend this month. However, the program is so exciting for my future. Absolutely. Yeah. If anyone is a student here, have you seen our new AI tutor yet? It's called Astro. Let me see if I can actually show it real quick. I'm going to share my screen in a sec. I just want to share it with you all. Let me show you. There we go. So definitely helps when I get stuck. Don't have the whole syntax lexicon of everything in my head, so it certainly helps. Absolutely. And then Terence, knowing coding helps because you know specific questions to ask ChatGPT. Yeah. Oh, cool. So someone has used it, Ashley. So let me show it to you. This is, by the way, this is our new web development fundamentals course where we bring HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap together. And that's really allowing us to dedicate a full 5 weeks in front-end and full stack on JavaScript. So it's ready to go. We are looking forward. We're going to have our first students joining on Monday. So it's going to be really exciting. All right, let's pick that one. So and hopefully, there we go. Here it is. So the tutor is going to show up. Tutor is going to show up when you're on a lesson, when you're on an assignment, when you're on not a quiz because we don't want to give you the answer, but yeah, a lesson, an assignment, anything like that where you can actually, when you may have questions. And so the way it works, so that's actually welcome. So I don't know, there's not really much to learn here. Let me do something different. Let me pick HTML anchors, for example. All right, so we're learning about HTML anchors here. There's a video, there's additional things, there's an exercise here. There we go. So there's an exercise. So let's see what happens. So this is Astro, your AI tutor. And I'm going to, hey, I am having issues understanding this lesson. Can you help? Oh, come on, go away. So you notice that I did not mention what lesson I'm on. Like I'm on the exercise anchors lesson, but I didn't say that to the bot. There's actually context that is being sent to Astro right now, and you probably have heard about the context size. Like you can't really feed everything to the bot because you only have 8K tokens to work with. So what's happening is in the background, if there isn't a summary of that lesson yet, it's being built. So we're actually asking GPT 3.5 to fetch the data, the actual content on the page, to create a summary of it. ChatGPT 3.5 can do that pretty well. And then we're feeding that summary to ChatGPT 4 to have the conversation with me. And so here it is. And so say, hey, I'll be happy to help. In this lesson, you've learned about anchors, nav elements. Let's see. Yeah, nav elements. Anchor element, nav element. So there it goes. So, and I can then, start to have a conversation. Let me catch up on those the questions that you may have. Yeah, so Ashley has used it. Awesome. Matthew, I was able to build an interview project using ChatGPT to make learning Next.js faster. Exactly. And you really benefit from that when you have a fundamental knowledge of development. Otherwise, it's just wasted. You can't really understand that. Great. That's really great to see, Rosalie. Step-by-step direction somehow helps. Yeah. Knowing development definitely helps because you have to be able to troubleshoot. The answer is that. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Don, good to see you. Yeah, Grammarly, it's my savior now. Great to have you here. So Astro is available to everyone. You should see it now. Like if you go to learn, you should see the pop-up show up. It's available for everyone for free, like nothing additional. It's costly though. So it's ChatGPT 4 behind the scene. And the bet we're making is first, you're not going to go too crazy with it, meaning you're not going to consume 100,000 tokens every day. If that was the case, that will really add a dent on our budget. But what we're really thinking is the cost we're putting into it is worth it because it's going to help students complete the lessons. It's going to help students really go to the end goal of finishing the bootcamp. And so that's really a win-win when that happens. So we're going to offer it for free now. We're going to monitor if the consumption is going crazy or not. We're going to try to not charge for it and see what happens. Oh, that typo. So that typo here, it's because, so there's a nice story for the enroll versus enroll typo. Moodle has been primarily developed by a team in Australia. And guess what? Guess how they spell enroll in Australian English? They spell it enroll with one L. You can change that by changing the language or the local, I think in Moodle in your profile. But I think that's what does it. Josh, great. Yeah. That's a good one. Samantha led me astray. Yeah. So if you're a student with us, go to your course. You should. If you don't find it in the page, let me know. Uh, oh yes, Michelle, absolutely. Can ambassadors mention answering workshop as something there is? Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Um, we really believe it's a great tool to use. The problem with ChatGPT, if you actually use it as an end user, if you go there and use it as an end user, what you're going to find is it's going to give you the answer and that's it. And you're going to be tempted. There's something in us that just give me the answer. I don't want you necessarily to. Um, I don't want you to kind of help me step by step. Just give it to me. We make sure that Astro or Debugginator, we make sure that it doesn't feed you straight the answer. We make sure that in the context that we give it, that we specifically say, do not give the full answer right off the bat to the student. So that's going to really force you to think it through. Zina, there's no special key. Like if you go to any lesson, any page, any book on the learning in the learning environment, you should see it pop up. If that's not the case, let us know. But it should be there for you to use. One more thing as well. You've all learned about responsible AI. You've all heard about being able to monitor what's going on, right? What we don't want to see happening is pretty much those conversations between you and the AI are going terribly wrong. It needs to be monitored. So what you're writing here is not private. You should know that. We actually have a view into it, and then we can see, when the AI is wrong, when the AI is right. But you should know it's not private. And we'll probably make sure that it's really it's a kind of a disclaimer that makes sure that you know that. So we are monitoring the behavior of the AI. It's not gonna, hopefully, it's not gonna go terribly wrong. Sweet. Oh, come on. Yes. Let us know either on Discord or here on the stream. So let me go back to the points I wanted to make. Right. So again, this is the same point. 0x times 10 is still equals 0x. The third point that I want to discuss with you is, I think, even more inspiring and encouraging. And it's the number 3. It's a little bit too much, I think, as a title. Current software as a service solutions are dying. The subtitle is more accurate. Huge opportunity to disrupt and innovate. Let me share something that was discussed recently about Salesforce. A lot of people are spelling doom for Salesforce. If people don't know what Salesforce is about, Salesforce is a sales and marketing company. If you are spammed by salespeople, pretty much, trying to sell you something, and you get an email a day, and it looks like it's personalized, chances are it's a Salesforce automation system, really helping sales individuals or marketing individuals to reach out. It's managing campaigns, very similar to HubSpot, very similar to Zendesk. It's very much, ultimately, what Salesforce is doing is automating human workflow. And let's think about that for a second. Automating human workflow for the purpose of increasing productivity, increasing output. Like, you're not going to send one email a day manually to 1,000 people. You're going to automate that. You're not going to answer, on chat, 1,000 people asking questions. You're going to automate that. So, for example, when you go to a website, you're going to be fed a knowledge base first so that you can find the answer. what you're seeing here is companies like Salesforce, HubSpot, Zendesk, you name them. Any software as a service solution that's about automating human workflow is going to be faced with significant threats from AI. The reason is they have built a legion of features that are about automating human workflow. Now, what if you use AI instead of humans? And what if the AI is already automated by itself? All of a sudden, those solutions have built features that are just wasted, not needed anymore. I'm going to give you an example for actually a piece of software that we do use ourselves. And it is, well, yeah, you're still seeing my screen. So if you go to nucamp.co, you're going to find here, well, Astro. It's the same actually. It's not really Astro for this time around. It's going to be Stephanie. So, hey, I'm doing, oops, a demo for YouTube. So here, Astro actually should not be responding. I should be seeing a response from Steph. There we go. So Stephanie is a ChatGPT bot as well. We were able to realign two individuals in our team to do other things and have our pretty much chat online handled by ChatGPT 24/7. The software that we use to handle that is called Chris.chat. And it's quite similar to Salesforce, HubSpot, and all that. I want to make sure that I'm not showing anything. No, that's good, actually. Perfect. This piece of software here, this is what's going to help us to monitor. I feel catfished. Samantha, yes, you were. She's amazing. She's actually the best agent we could think of. And it's crazy how good that is. So here's the deal with Chat Agent. We had two people manning the chat. And even with two people, it was very hard for them to stay motivated doing that. It's very horrendous to have to answer the same, to have to give the same answers to actually different people at the same time. And whenever we had spikes and all of a sudden there's 10 chats that need answers, it was very hard for human chat agents to continue to be empathetic, continue to dedicate as much time to each one request, and not be, too fast answering. So this job of being a chat agent, a human chat agent, is actually not the best job at all. Something that's very monotonous, and AI is a perfect way to actually handle that. So that AI has been trained on our data. But what I want to share with you here is beyond that. It's that piece of software here, Crisp, that has a set of features that don't make any sense anymore. Like if I go to the website settings, well, actually my account, Stephanie's account. Well, not this one. So website settings. Operators in the team. Well, guess what? We don't need operators in the team anymore. And then those operators are going to say when they're available or not available. And then we're going to have message shortcuts. Those message shortcuts were meant for human agents to quickly find the proper answer to a question so that they could move on to the next chat. Pretty much it was trying to make humans mimic an AI agent as much as possible by just, by using pre-canned answers. And I could actually go on and on. If someone had to rethink this program, Crisp.chat today, they will strip out, I guarantee you, they will strip out 80% of the features that are there. 80% of the features that are there are useless because now we don't have a person and we don't need to automate a person's tasks. We have a smart AI agent doing the work. Now apply that to every software as a service solution that are trying to automate human interactions. There's a significant chance for those to not be able to adapt. Yes, we're going to add AI on top of it, right? But it's going to be yet one more feature. They are not going to have the luxury, or very few are going to try to do it, to really rethink their whole product from the ground up with AI at its core. That's your chance. Rick, the person speaking in the video at Nucamp are actually real humans, but we know, we've heard that it's Mine, and Mine has kind of an interesting voice that can actually make her pass as a robot, but it's not. It's actually real people talking. Interesting though, right? But that's it. This is the opportunity for everyone listening to take a mainstream solution that's maybe making millions right now. Think of a Salesforce, think of a HubSpot, think of all of that, and rethink those products from the ground up with AI at its core. That product is going to do very much, maybe the same things, but very differently. And this is the disruption that I'm talking about. And this is why, again, the real power of AI is in its APIs. And it's what AI is going to be able to deliver to us developers. You're not going to be able to leverage that if you're not a developer. Like if you're 0x, you're going to continue to be 0x, and you're going to be, chances are you're going to be a victim of AI. You're not going to be leading with AI. You really want to be leading with AI. And what are we going to do with it? Well, we're going to become 10x developers or 100x developers. And we're going to pretty much disrupt every market, every industry, every product out there, solution out there that are about automating human workflow. And you can, name them. This is a significant revolution in development. And all of that really makes me think that this is not the case that AI is going to replace developers. This is not the case that, all of a sudden we're going to need less developers. I really believe now that we're going to see a significant shift. Yes, Michel, learn to build a generative AI API. But we're really going to see a ton of us people, developers, approach AI as the new cloud platform. So think back 20 years ago, 20 years ago, pretty much. Before the cloud, before AWS, before Google Cloud, before Microsoft Azure, all the solutions were deployed on data centers at customers' location, what we were calling on-site. And then the internet arrived, and then the cloud services arrived, and the new set of solutions popped up. We call them the cloud native solution. The Salesforce, the Facebook, all of that. They created net new opportunities that didn't exist before. And this is very much how I think we should think about AI. Not the ChatGPT experience, not the plugin experience. I think we're going to be disappointed by that. And we're starting to be disappointed by that. Still very much impressive and helpful. The plain ChatGPT, how you can build plugins, or you can pretty much write in a language that you don't know. Awesome. The real breakthrough, the real opportunity is going to be all of us building breakthrough solutions that are cloud native, AI native, and really think about AI at its core and what it can do and how differentiated that's going to be from everything else that's pretty much making millions right now. And so that's very much the thoughts I wanted to share with you today. We're 50 minutes in, Love to discuss more with you. Let me see what questions you may have. And again, one last time, if you want to join me, nucamp.co/dial-in. Sometimes what I do when people are too shy is I'm promising a t-shirt, a Nucamp t-shirt. So let me do that. For the next 10 minutes, anyone that's actually joining me on this link will make sure that you get a Nucamp t-shirt or sweater, either way. Amanda has talked to Stephanie like a real person several times. Yeah, it's incredible. We're very much amazed. Here's what we've learned, and this is mind blowing. So, someone from the Middle East spoke to Stephanie in English, and Stephanie is starting to write back, right from left, instead of left to right. She started to write in English from right to left. We've seen her do that when she was responding in Arabic. Yeah, because by the way, if you speak to Stephanie in Spanish or French or Arabic, she's going to respond in that language, which is crazy. But then I have no clue, absolutely no clue how, because she doesn't know where the visitor comes from. She has no IP address, no nothing. How did she know that the person asking the question in English was from the Middle East, and so the right way to write it was right to left? I had no idea. We have still don't know. So something interesting going on here. I'll also share with you that. Oh, thank you, Samantha. We're seeing ChatGPT mimic tone and style. So, for example, if you're, and you can go play around on www.nucamp.co, but if you're having a conversation with Stephanie and you're using a lot of emoji, she's going to reply with a lot of emoji. If you're sounding very excited, very enthusiastic, she's going to reply being very enthusiastic, very excited. So there's actually an interesting mimicking happening here. So thank you, Natalie, for the feedback. Yes, I really, really believe that. And you've seen Nucamp and myself invest a ton in AI, in everything I've shown here, from our website to the Debuginator to AI Tutor. We're going to do more of that. Hey, Zach, good to see you. It's been a while. Thanks for joining, Zach. I see Eric right here. Let me bring you onto the show, Eric. And I promise you, I'll ask for your. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
How you doing?
Very good. Welcome to the show, Eric. Thanks for.
I can. There's a little duplicate echo here. Um,
Yes, you probably
great,
want to
great.
mute your other tab. You probably have YouTube playing on another tab. You want to mute that.
Okay, I did that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, great idea. I can't wait to start using this bot. I missed the very beginning. I asked Stephanie, "What's the AI's name?" I said, "I thought you said Astra," and
Astro.
then Astro came on. He corrected him. He corrected me. He said, "Hey, you must be looking for me." That was really cool.
Oh, really?
Um, so
Brilliant.
So the next thing that I'm excited to know about is what is your you must have plans to offer some sort of component in the boot camp to learn how we could learn AI or work with be an AI person, whoever, or pathway to that.
Yes.
Is that in the works? Are you working
Yes.
on that?
Yes, absolutely. Thinking about that,
Uh,
thinking about the best way to accomplish that. But yeah, we are, I mean, tons of plans in the AI space. That includes offering probably a course. Something I wanted to touch on during the stream, it's LangChain. If you're thinking about building AI applications, you should definitely start straight from the OpenAI APIs, but then
mhm.
rapidly you should look into LangChain. And again, there you go. LangChain. Um, Probably want to go to the actual. There you go. Well, yeah, LangChain is a great framework to help you build end-to-end AI applications. But yeah, we're thinking about that. Definitely, Eric.
Okay. I mean, I got my hands full. I'm in the middle of the React course, and I got my hands full with that. So I mean, going in this other direction is I'm not ready for yet. But I mean, getting the assistance will be really cool. I'm going to try it out this week.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think you'll want to start really diving into AI and the APIs after you complete the Node.js course. If you're in full stack, I don't know if you stop at the front end or not, but
I
because
am.
this is very much a back end type of thing right now,
Mhm.
where you're going to really use the REST APIs. You're going to want to store a ton of stuff in the database. You want to have your bot to have persistent memory.
Mhm.
So I would really recommend that you start to dig into it after you finish the full stack, so that you have a real backend experience. And by the way, it works in JavaScript. It's not always Python. There's a ton of tutorials out there that are on Python, but you can make it work in JavaScript as well.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is exciting. I can't
All
wait
right.
to.
Thank you, Eric. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Oh, Eric, please email info@nucamp.co.
Okay.
Say, hey, I'm Eric Lohada. I was on Ludo's YouTube stream. He promised me a sweater or a t-shirt, and we'll
Yeah, I
take care
want
of it.
some swag.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I will. Thank
All
you.
right. Take care.
You too.
Okay, let's go back to the questions. What advice do you have for someone who has not dealt with APIs before and wants to get started by leveraging ChatGPT? So, Rick, as I just told Eric, you want to understand the backend first. So you can do that either by making sure that you're completing the Node.js Express MongoDB course that's in full stack. Or if you're in backend, I don't know I think you said you were somewhere. I don't know which one. But if you're in backend, you're going to cover APIs. And the good news, if you're doing Python and the backend with Python, as I just said, a ton of the tutorials are really Python oriented. And so you're going to feel really at home with that. But you really want to learn backend programming, databases. You'll be that much more comfortable with APIs and ChatGPT. Databases is because a lot needs going to need to be persisted, and you're going to do that in a database most likely. Amanda, yes, she's super helpful. It's crazy. It's really, she is the best agent. And I don't mean that with no disrespect to the people who were doing it before. I've seen Zandra here. She was one of them. I think she'll agree. She has unlimited empathy and attention for everyone. Unlimited empathy and attention for everyone. And she cannot get upset. Like, there's no better agent. That's just the reality, and it's just like that. um yeah, prompting, that's probably going to happen, but I think it's always going to be bland. I think, Matthew, when you think about AI building an app from beginning to end, I don't think it's going to be possible, or it's going to be a ton of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it's going to be bland. It's going to be very generic. I believe. I think there's so much that goes into the business rules of an app or a website. It's going to be pretty tough to have that done 100% automated by the AI. The thing that's going to be challenging the most is that context. Like if you look at any serious GitHub repo of a project or of an app, pulling all of that and putting it in a context of an agent is going to be way too much. And so there's until you can do that, you're never going to have the bot capable of producing the right code that does all the right things. For that to happen, you'll have to be able to just upload um, the full code at once, and it needs to fit the whole context. I'm currently in the back end on the computer. Do you think we'll see adjustments to our computer? No, what we'll probably do is actually release a new offering. Actually thinking of making it free potentially. We'll see. But that anything we do in AI in terms of curriculum and content, it's going to be an addition. It's going to be something smaller, and it may be free for graduates. So we'll see. All right. Hey, everyone. It was fantastic to have you. It was great to be back and have that conversation with you. Appreciate all the feedback. And as I said, I really think developers are here to stay. I really think you want to be a minimum 1x developer so that you can become a 10x or 100x developer. And I wish you all to really disrupt many industries and many big players out there by thinking about AI at the core of new experiences that you will build. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Victoria. Take care, everyone. See you, Michelle. Bye, Rick. Oops, I'm back. Hold on.